Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Remember Helen Kerwin? As county commissioner, she raised the tax rate over 95%, increased taxes, utility rates, connection fees, and pushed to give the state even more taxing authority. Well, Helen Kerwin's back, handpicked by the Washington swamp to push a voucher scheme that takes funds away from our local schools and gives taxpayer-funded private school vouchers to illegal immigrants. They'd even go to the front of the line ahead of U.S. citizens and legal residents. It's the very same voucher scheme Dwayne Burns stopped last year before delivering the largest tax cut in Texas history, the strongest border security plan in America, and new laws to protect our kids at school and online. Dwayne Burns is the real conservative who puts our community first. He won't be bullied by powerful politicians or D.C. special interest groups because he doesn't work for them. He works for us. Political ad paid for by the Dwayne Burns campaign.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Well, hello, Jobfather Nation. Yes, I am not Foster, and no, I am not Dana. Foster and Dana are at a wonderful event called Meet the Recruiter at Stonefire Community Church today. And yes, please pray for Foster because he actually trusts me to host this show alone. So this is my takeover of the Jobfather Nation. So let's go ahead and take care of some bills and give all the shout outs that we need to give to all of our lovely sponsors. So this is now NTX Radio, formerly known as Joco Community Radio, is a proud member of EMG, a radio and podcast collective proudly serving all of North Texas. We are live 365, and you can download the TuneIn Radio app on your phone. Please, please check it out. Like, subscribe to all of our LinkedIn, Facebook, and obviously YouTube channels. It really does help support this network and what we do across the board. If you are interested in advertising on JoCo Community Radio, please reach out to ntxradio.com for advertising rates as low as $50 per month. And as our normal tradition, we are going to start out the show in a word of prayer. So please, if you will, bow your heads with me and we will get started. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for another day, another blessing. It is a very important weekend this weekend as we remember as U.S. citizens the sacrifice that all of our armed forces have made across decades of this country's history. Please, in this really, really critical time of divide in our country, may we come together one weekend and remember those that have fallen. Please bless our job seekers and our recruiters. Please help them get the correct job. Please guide them and give them strength through this very difficult time. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And before we get going with our lovely show this afternoon or morning, wherever you guys are turning in from, also tradition, Foster's going to be proud of me. We're going to do a dad joke. All right. Oh, Lord. Of course, right when my boss is calling me. Give me 1 second before the dad joke. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to call her back. But, so, the dad joke is, what do you call a duck that is a doctor?
Doc.
A quack. Oh, get it? That was bad. Yeah, I know. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Oh, Lord. Why did my boss call me? I love this. Obviously, I'm a full-time employee, and I do apologize for that. I will deal with her in a minute. Let's make sure everything's okay there. So please pray for me as well. Anyway, we have a great lineup for you guys today. We have Audrey and we have Rudy today. And Audrey, I think you brought a friend. Did you have a friend with you, Audrey? Can you hear me? Audrey, can you guys hear me? Rudy, you can hear me, right? Okay. All right. Well, Audrey, I think you're having some audio issues right now. No big deal. We will continue on. Also, coming up in the next few weeks, we are doing a series. I would like to do a series. I need to get it also approved by the Godfather or Jobfather himself, Foster Williams, but it's going to be called a series of obstacles, basically paralleling the phases of job search in general, from everywhere from beginning, what you have to practically do when you first get laid off, the emotional state, the mental health, the steps that you need to take, and then going back into the practicality of it. And everything's going to be different for each person and every industry. But that is what we're really, really excited about moving forward, is that series, because it's extremely important for every job seeker to realize, I don't care how strong you are going to go through some mental barriers and some hurdles, and it happens all the time to everybody. Male, female, does not matter. It doesn't matter how many years you've been in a certain career. It doesn't matter how many times you've gone through the transition. You will go through these steps. So super excited about that series coming up. And let's see if we have Audrey. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. She brought a friend, but we can't, we can see you, but we can't quite hear you. But moving forward, we also have Rudy. He's our job seeker today. He's going to be on our second half of the show. Super excited to talk to him. He's in HR, so if you don't already have him as a connection, you need to go to LinkedIn and do that. Also, just to mention some events, job seeking events coming up. Obviously, we have something called Frisco Connect, which happens every second of the month at Stonebriar Community Church. It's led by Foster Williams, and we have lots of recruitment and recruiters there as well. We have guest speakers and help out with practicality, mental health. We'll pray for you and all of that fun stuff. So that's every first of the month at Stonebriar Community Church. Check out the website. It's friscoconnect.org, and you can check that website out and you can register online. Wonderful, wonderful thing to do. And also we have South Lake Focus Group, which is every Thursday at obviously South Lake. And they do, I believe it's 8 o'clock. I think Foster will hit me, but 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursdays, they meet, they do, Rudy's like, yep, that's right. So thanks, Rudy. But that happens every Thursday. And we do networking groups, we do seminars, we do clinics there, personality tests, different types of personality tests. We talk about everything from what to look out for fraud, because that's unfortunately a part of our society, AI, tools and equipment, resume work, resources and development. And if you not already know, we also have DFW career dot, I believe it's .org. And you can check out all these events across the DFW area and make sure you check that out. And make sure you check the right boxes for like seminars, job fairs, because the calendar looks like mine. It's very, very busy. So make sure you check those websites out. Audrey, can you hear us, and can you speak now? Still, I see lips moving. Not quite yet. Okay, not quite yet. But Audrey's amazing. She's a part of a healthcare organization called True Coverage. So that's what she's going to be talking about today. And unfortunately, as job seekers, this is actually one of the first steps that job seekers tend to kind of forget. When, like, the second you get laid off, all of a sudden you don't have health insurance anymore. So your employer gives you a package, right? And I think everybody can understand, like, you don't want to look at that package. Like, the last thing that's on your mind is looking at that package, right, Rudy? Like, you just don't want to deal with it. You're like, really? You're giving me like a dissertation to look at? It's the truth. Like, that's the last thing we want to look at. Like, I don't know. No. But anyway, it's really, really important. So that's one of the first steps you need to do as a job seeker that gets laid off, fired, you quit, whatever. Either which way, your employer will give you this packet. And health insurance, if it was provided by your employer, you have to now cover it. So COBRA is what everybody gets, right? So that COBRA basically, I mean, I'm going to get chastised for this as well, but basically means that you are now taking over the payments that your employer was footing for. And, I think I hear Audrey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We got Audrey. Okay, you brought a friend. So everybody, this is Audrey. Who's your friend with you? Which one's Audrey? Because I haven't met you guys in person yet. So which one's Audrey?
I'm Adri.
Adri. And then we have a friend. Who's your friend?
Christabel.
Hello. Welcome, ladies. Welcome. So I will shut my mouth, and ladies, please introduce yourselves and what you guys are doing for the community, and how can we better advertise your services for the job market?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. So we're licensed life and health agents. We have an outreach organization. We help people in the community and get access to these resources, to get financial assistance, to get free health care. Yes, ma'am. And that's through the Affordable Care Act, which is a government-funded federal regulated program.
Okay. So how does that work? How does walk us through the process? Like, you have a random job seeker that just got laid off and they don't know which way is up and down. So how can you help them get connected with affordable health insurance at a very difficult time in somebody's life?
So we are mobile as we do the outreach, but we also are just a phone call away as well. So for those who are job seekers and they're transitioning from one job looking for their next job, a lot of them who do not qualify for coverage through their employers through a group health plan, they need health insurance. And even some of them that do can't afford their group health plans, even if they have the COBRA, which extends their health coverage through their employer. So what we do, like I said, we're a phone call away, but we're also mobile. So we do enrollments in person as well as on the phone. We look for health insurance plans through the marketplace, and we help these people, show them what their plans are, and we help them get enrolled. Like Adri said, it is mostly for free health insurance. There are some plans that are paid, but it is very affordable, especially compared to a lot of the group health plans that they have with their employers. So we just go through the application, we get some of their contact information to see what plan they qualify for, and that's really it. It takes like 5 minutes, and we help people all the time, every day, to get free or affordable health insurance plans.
Okay, great. That's awesome. Do you have like a website or anything that you can share with the group and see so that we can get connected with you guys, or they can get connected with you for this?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll add our LinkedIn's into the chat, and we also have a flyer.
Okay. If you can put it like in the Restream chat, Tiff, if you could, our lovely host and behind the scenes wonderful Wonder Woman, Tiff, if you can put that, post it on the platforms. I see. Let's see who do we have with us today. My lovely husband, Derek Galindo. Shout out to him. He's wonderful. Supporting everybody here. I don't see anybody else. And most likely we have Jay Hoff. He's also part of Jewish Family Services. No, you do not have to be Jewish to partake in that. And that's JF, Jewish Family Services, JFSDallas.org. I can do math. I can read. I am great. And we have Dustin Williams, thank you so much for posting the FriscoConnect.org and the South Lake Focus Group. That's amazing. Shout out to you, Dustin, and everything else. Where do you do recruitment events? Do you do anything, ladies? Do you guys go? Where can people meet you in person, I guess, and kind of discuss more? Or is there any kind of like setup times, appointment times that you do for people that, like me, very paranoid and like, I don't know about health insurance, like whatsoever, like the process?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So right now, we have a lot of different organizations and partnerships that we are affiliated with. One of our big supporters right now is Dallas Community College. So we're at, school just ended. So next semester we'll be at all 7 campuses rotating, as well as like a mixture between UTA. We've also been granted that partnership as well. Right now, while school is out, we're just in between staffing agencies. Result Staffing is one. We're here on site. Sorry about the background, which is another one of our partners, which is Pro Logistics. So we just come during their training classes, provide the resources for those in transitioning between jobs, just to give them type of peace of mind, because like with inflation and the way the economy is right now, the first thing somebody, getting into a new job is the last thing they want to be taken out their first paycheck is like $160 for like a healthcare plan.
Right.
So, we keep them covered, and also with entering to new jobs, they're not offered benefits right away. Sometimes they miss the deadlines, or sometimes they have like a 60 or 90-day period, which is what we are able to keep them covered during that time as well.
That's awesome. And that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up, because everybody doesn't realize that even a lot of contract positions are out there now. Like a lot of companies are opting to do contract to hire. So don't be scared of the contract jobs. Believe me, they're awesome. And you work with amazing people, amazing companies. But instead of dealing with all the overhead, a lot of companies opt to do contract positions like a 1099. So during that 1099, or like you said, as I break my computer, the probation period, which I went through when I first got hired, was I had a 60-day, I believe it was 60 or 90, I can't remember now, but I didn't have insurance. And I know my husband went through the same thing when he transitioned jobs. Like he didn't get his 401k right away. I didn't get my 401k right away. I didn't have health insurance right away. I was blessed enough at the time to have other ways to cover me, but that is extremely important. So having this type of coverage, because of course when it rains it pours, right? Like your kid breaks a foot, which
Yes.
I'm very guilty of. Very guilty of being accident prone and right at the worst moments ever. So that's extremely important. If and when, that's actually another, I'm sorry, my squirrel mind is going squirrel. So if somebody signs up and all they want from you guys as a company, true coverage, is let's say a 90-day period of time, is that available? Could somebody sign up for just 90 days and not get penalized for it?
Yes, ma'am. You guys are in control of your own policy. So you'll be able to update it, cancel it, or even change your providers at any time of your leisure. We are just like a connection between the enrollment process. Because I know for my experiences about healthcare.gov, that website can be a little bit overwhelming. I mean, you'll get like stuck in between the application. You're like, I don't know if it's active yet or not. So yeah, we're just here to, just provide that guidance for that time. Yes, ma'am.
And a lot of times with those applications, like I've been on that website where it's like some of the questions are just very, very obscure, weird. Like, I don't know were you hatched? I think I wasn't. I don't know. So you just don't know how to answer some of these questions. I really like that one. But do you help somebody? That's basically what you guys are there, like as consultants, to make sure you answer the questions correctly. It's like, no, Mez, you were not hatched. You were born. You were a mammal. It's like, okay, great. Made that through. Is that what you do as well? Like you help the application and everything, right?
Yes, ma'am. And we also are a connection point whenever we do help you do the application. We're also a connection point to your health insurance carrier. So we can contact your carrier on your behalf. I have many clients who are like, oh, I'm too busy to call the insurance company. As long as they give their insurance company authorization for me to call on their behalf, I call the insurance company on their behalf to settle anything that they need. So we're that connection point between the enrollment process, even past that, to talk to your insurance company on your behalf.
Oh my God, I would hire you in a heartbeat. I cannot be on the phone with customer service and robots anymore. Oh dear God, give me mercy. No. It's like, I am a Christian woman. I keep saying it all over. I am a Christian woman. I am a Christian woman. I am a Christian woman. Do not cuss them out. It is not their fault. It is not their fault.
Right.
So if I had somebody to actually do that for me, that would be fantastic. That's a wonderful service that you don't hear about, especially with the healthcare providers. Normally you're like, oh, you signed up. I don't know your name anymore, so go away. Go away. So yeah, that's great. That's great. Is there anything? We have about 10 more minutes. Do you guys want to talk about anything else as far as do you have any job openings as far as your company is concerned that you want to talk about?
So our company, True Coverage, is going to be hiring very soon. So we have been at multiple job fairs and career fairs as vendors, just helping people not necessarily get hired on the spot, but giving them the information and letting them know we are hiring, because we are also independent agents as well, and we work directly through the ASA program. If somebody would like to just be a contractor or work in the office, they have flexible options. We do outreach, so we're in the field almost every day, and we love what we're doing. We love being out of the office setting. It's very refreshing. So yes, you have flexible options to do what you would like to do.
That's really interesting. Okay, so tell both of you, tell us a little bit more about yourselves and how you came to even come to work for True Coverage and your favorite parts of it, if you would.
Yes, ma'am. So, a little bit about myself. I was doing the life side of my life and health license. So I was on the life side for a while. This is my first year with the health side. And so that's another great thing that I like about this position, because I'm not captive. So if anybody is interested in looking into a career with life and health, I would say it's really rewarding. I have a purpose. Like when I go to work every day, I'm helping people. I'm securing and I'm protecting families in different ways that like aren't oversaw. So, and with that, my license not being captive here, I can also go back to life, protecting people with some life insurance and annuities, things like that. Or I can even dive deeper and go into Medicare stuff. But right now, I like the way that it has transitioned from us being into the call center during open enrollment to where special enrollment, we're out there helping families during their special qualifications. You know, families don't know that if they just had a baby or even if they just moved out of state, they can qualify for these plans. You know, I help out families every day that are just cut off of Medicaid just because they're over $3 of the limit that they need for the job, and they cut off food stamps, Medicaid, and they're just like stuck. So I like this job. I like helping people. It feeds my soul in, you know, in different ways as well.
That's awesome. No, that's great to hear because you guys sound like you're both boots on the ground. You're not just sitting behind a computer screen making cold calls. You know what I mean? It sounds like, okay, you're actually getting the real feedback from real people that are going through these types of situations. That's amazing to hear. So thank you. What about you? How about you?
So I've been doing, I actually started out the same way, doing the health side of things, and I transitioned to using my license for the health insurance. So I'm also going on a year. Like Adri said, we're really just out here building connections with families and individuals that are not able to qualify for Medicaid and they're too young to get on Medicare, or they're not disabled and they don't meet those disablement requirements to get on Medicare. So
Just so
just building those
sad.
connections and hearing their stories, being just a form of support for them. I think that's in itself one of the best resources that we can give, is just to support these individuals and support families that need access to quality health coverage, because they wellness and health, mental health, it's all something that, you know, is kind of swept under the rug, especially
Yeah.
when people are dealing with so many other things in their lives. So being able to just be that resource for that one part of their life that they, you know, are not able to put their complete focus on, and then we help them and we support them and they know they're covered. It's one of the most rewarding feelings, honestly.
It is because, I mean, we don't want to talk about health insurance. We don't want to talk about insurance in general, right? It's depressing. I don't want to think about getting hurt. Like, really? I don't want to talk to you. Go away. Like, no. Like, I'll put myself in bubble wrap. I'll get in my hamster ball and we'll call it good. So yeah, it's not the most exciting. Nobody wants to talk about insurance. Like, no offense to you ladies, but it's just, we don't want to. But especially when you're freshly laid off, or you, like you said, $3 over and no longer qualify. And it might be just like a rounding error on the banks, but those statements come in, you are cut off. And that's so scary. And it takes hours. It really does. It takes hours of talking to insurance companies, or dealing with the English, wonderful language. I keep wanting to say Obamacare, but it's not called that. It's
Affordable
what's it
Care
called?
Act.
There we go. But it takes hours to go through. So am I going to spend 6 hours trying to deal with my insurance, or try to deal with my resume, LinkedIn? I mean, there's so many moving parts, especially as Americans today, that we need to get in order. And just having that relief of support to go, nope, I got you covered. I will give you 3 options within your budget, blah, blah, blah. And you just pick one, right? Because sometimes too many options it's bad. It's horrible. Like, I will go, oh, look, something shiny. Like, no, I cannot have too many options. 3 is my max. And that's really hard to get down to sometimes. But having you ladies do this is absolutely incredible. Is there I don't know, Tiff, did you get the website? Did we get the website for you? Or
Yeah,
your company?
I emailed it to Foster Williams. That's the contact I have right now.
If you could, in our chat, put the website, and we will have our lovely hostess, Tiff, post it on our streaming. And remember, guys, we're streaming on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, and we have YouTube. So please remember to like, subscribe, and remember, Joco Community Radio is no longer Joco Community Radio. It has switched, so I couldn't find it either today, which is not a bad thing. But it went from Joco Community Radio on YouTube to NTX. So found it. We're good. Obviously, we have new backgrounds. Beautiful backgrounds. Thank you, Tiff, for all your hard work that you do. And I'm pretty sure we should be hearing some music here shortly. But ladies, it has been such a pleasure to have you on the show. We hope to have you back soon. Can't wait to see you guys again. Thank you so much for your time. And we'll post all of this information on the website. And yeah, any last sort of like closing statements you want to say to our lovely audience across the globe? We are the largest job networking group, I should say, in the world. We have everywhere from Greece, Italy, Germany, Europe, across the UK, which I just got back from UK. That's a fun story. And obviously across the United States. So if you have any questions, concerns, or if you guys want to link up with us to have any more events you want to go visit and be a part of, please reach out to me and whatnot. Okay, I'm done talking. Sorry, Tiff. I hear the music. Guys, do not go anywhere. Ladies, you are more than welcome to hang out. Yeah, absolutely. Hang out with us if you can.
Fun.
We'll see you guys back here in a second.
Words from sweet-sounding groups like the American Federation for Children. Well, the truth is alarming. These are the people caught marketing private school vouchers to illegal immigrants in Arizona. And they want to do the same in Texas. But Dwayne Burns said no. And that's why they're targeting him in this election. The voucher program they're pushing is a magnet for illegal immigration. Fully qualified to receive these $10,000 vouchers, illegal aliens would go to the front of the line ahead of U.S. citizens. These groups want to replace Dwayne Burns with a rubber stamp, and they've got one in Helen Kerwin. Kerwin has pledged to support this voucher scheme if elected, but we can't let that happen. Dwayne Burns' top priority is border security. He's stopped taxpayer-funded handouts to illegal aliens. And he's endorsed by every law enforcement association in Texas. Political ad paid for by the Dwayne Burns campaign.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Sorry, squirrel. Welcome back, Jobfather Nation. Glad you guys have stuck with us. We had a great first half of the show, and we are about to have a great second half of the show. And as always, we are so appreciative to have Jobfather show be sponsored by NTX Radio, formerly known as the Joco Community Radio. Please check us out on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and what's the other one? I know I'm missing something. TuneIn Network. I am so sorry, Tiff. I'll get this right. We have an amazing second half, but as per tradition, we have another dad joke. Feel like I'm being forced into this. Okay, you guys ready for this? Just say yes to make me feel better.
Yes.
Thank you, Rudy. So, why did the Scarecrow get an award? The girls are looking at me like, please don't say it. Please don't say it.
That's scared.
No, because he was outstanding in his field. Yes.
Wah,
I,
wah, wah.
I will go stand in the corner and think about what I just said. I do apologize for that. Anyway, so we have a great second half for you guys. We have a lovely, lovely guest, Rudy. Don't kill me on how to say your last name. Vasquez, correct?
Yes, got it.
Oh, wow. Yay. Go me. Done for the day. That's my achievement. And you are looking for an executive or director role, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
All
Looking for an
right.
HR director role specifically.
Perfect. Well, I will be quiet as long as I can, and you just give us your introduction and kind of what you're looking for and anything else you want to add.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Mez. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you inviting me, and I'm really looking forward to our next 30 minutes together here. Again, my name is Rudy Vasquez. I am an HR professional. I'm currently looking for the next great opportunity. I am looking specifically for an HR director role, senior leadership role. I have many years of HR experience under my belt. God has blessed me to work for many good employers, good people, and now I'm in a place where I'm transitioning for that next opportunity. My background is, I say, about 18 plus years experience, pretty much in an HR BP realm, where basically
You look
I've
so
touched
young. So young.
a
You
little
look
bit of.
young. Sorry, you look young.
Thank you. I've touched a little bit in everything in HR, and so my next role that I'm looking for is in an HR BP director role. My experience and industries I've specifically worked in is healthcare, pharmaceuticals, aviation training. But the vast majority of my experience has been in healthcare, pharmaceuticals. Had a big run stint with an organization in pharmaceuticals that really exposed me to a lot of good HR opportunities to do good things for the organization and also for our human capital, which is our people. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me in a nutshell.
I love the fact that you go from healthcare, pharmaceuticals, which is a very clear jump or, segue, but then you go aviation. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, so aviation,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I went from a transition from an organization that I was pretty much 15 years in healthcare pharmaceuticals, and COVID hit, and that happens. Companies had to streamline, and then I was in a job transition, and a company found me, and they do aviation training, which is really cool. They train pilots. They have simulators where they train pilots, and I was their senior HR manager for the Americas, which I supported training centers in the United States, Canada, and a joint venture in Brazil, and then we had people in Mexico as well.
That
So
is so cool.
that was a really cool stint as well. The way I view HR can be applied in any business because people are people. You just need to understand the industry. So yeah, but that was my stint with that organization. Great organization, and so now I'm looking for the next opportunity where I can make a difference and go from there.
Awesome. Well, welcome. We're so happy to have you. So are you in the DFW area? Like, what do you look like as far as mobility goes? What industries are you looking at now? Give us a little feel about that because we have a lot of recruiters, a lot of companies listening in as well. So what are you looking for particularly?
Sure. So I'm in the DFW area. Specifically, if you know DFW, I live in the suburb of McKinney, Texas.
Okay.
I'm open to in-office, hybrid, remote positions. As far as commute-wise, I'm not gonna. If it's a great opportunity, then I will evaluate. Because if it's a commute that's requires, then we evaluate at the time. As far as industries, if I can go back to healthcare, that would be wonderful. pharmaceuticals as well.
Nice, nice. Do you have any target companies that you're looking for?
I do. I have a couple of them. I have Abbott Laboratories. It's an organization that I'm really trying
Love
to.
Abbott.
Abbott Laboratories is a big company that I'm looking at. Also, Conifer Health Solutions. They're
Okay.
here in the Frisco area. Also, for looking at U.S. Renal Care is another organization that I'm looking at as well very closely.
I just want to point something out for our community here. Rudy, I am so proud of you. And I know coming from me, like a little nobody, I am so happy to have you as a job seeker organized. You have your target companies, you know your mobility, you know your negotiations, like you know what you're willing to sacrifice, not sacrifice. That is super important. Sorry, I'm going to be in my soapbox for a second, but that is amazing to hear because as people like Foster, Dana, myself, a bunch of the leaders at South Lake and Frisco Connect, we get frustrated sometimes with job seekers because like, well, I can do it all. Okay, what do you want to do? And I don't know. It's like, okay, where do you want to live? I don't know. Okay, let's just start there, shall we, people? Like, let's just see where do you want to be location wise? Do you want to work remote? Do you want to do hybrid? Are you okay with moving across the country? Because some people are retired, some like their kids are out of the nest, right? So they can go. But some people like me, I have two young children. I can't go anywhere. So, Rudy, thank you so much for being organized and on top of your game to know what you want, where you want to be, industries that you want to like be involved in, and the target companies. So super kudos to you. You sound super organized
Thank
and
you.
know what you're doing. So that is a testament to your work ethic to begin with, because you give yourself that first before you put yourself out there. That is amazing. So shout out to you definitely for that. So
Thank
amazing
you.
sauce.
Thank
Do
you.
you
Thank you.
have security clearance? Because you mentioned aviation.
No, I don't. I don't have security clearance. I mean, it's
Okay.
something that I'm exploring into. It was interesting through the networking that I've done recently, because I'm also bilingual. I speak Spanish, fully bilingual. So
Very
I have
important to mention.
that's the skill that I have. And during the networking that I've done, one of the gentlemen that I spoke to, he says, "Have you ever thought of doing translation services for the
Wow.
government, it's the CIA, FBI?" So I started looking to it, and part of their process is if you get hired to them, they do have to do a security clearance. So it's interesting that you brought that up, but I
Correct.
don't have it to answer your question.
Okay. Well, that is awesome because you're right. Being bilingual is a huge, oh my gosh, you're going to laugh at me. The girls are definitely going to laugh at me. So I'm a huge TikTok addict. I will start a support group for all of my TikTok addicts out there. It's like, hi, my name is Mez. I'm addicted to TikTok. But um, there are a bunch of videos with the job seekers like going through interviews. I don't know if you've seen these where they're basically like little stick figures and it's like it says on your resume you could be bilingual. It's like, what does that mean? Have you seen this? This is hysterical. And basically the person is negotiating with the recruiter or the hiring manager going, what do you mean bilingual? It's like, well, depending on what you pay me, I will be bilingual. And throughout, I gotta send you the link. It's hysterical. So basically throughout the interviews, like, okay, we will get your rate up like $15 more because you're bilingual. And all of a sudden he's like ranting in Spanish at the end of it. It's so funny. I gotta send you that link. But basically it's
Right.
nice. You really, everybody, it's a joke and they make TikToks and it's really, really funny, but you have to know your value. And if you come to the table with that type of skill, don't sell yourself short. But sorry, that was my whole rant, but that's awesome. Have you, because you're in McKinney area, have you looked at Raytheon?
It's interesting you brought that up.
Uh-oh.
There was a position open earlier, about a couple of months ago, and I applied to it, and I
Mhm.
thought I really met the criteria. It is a transition because I've never done that part of it, but I did my networking. Unfortunately, I wasn't selected, for the role. But it's something that I looked into, and I'm open to. Again, Raytheon's that's right here in my backyard, and they also have operations
Nice.
in at Richardson, which is relatively close to me. So
Right.
Raytheon is a company on top of my list, absolutely as well. Like I said, yes.
Awesome, because the defense, I mean, I'm also a day trader because I can't sit still enough. But so just keeping up with the industry and the news, obviously everybody knows all these bills being passed for overseas spending. I'm not going to get political. I don't care which side of it you guys fall on, but the facts are the facts that we as the United States have signed over XYZ amount of money to defend these countries overseas. So the companies here in the defense industry are hiring like crazy. Like I said, it has nothing to do with politics, it has to do with numbers. So if you are in the job search and you have these type of skills like Rudy does, and especially of the hiring frenzy that is going on in the defense industry, it would be a good idea to hire somebody like Rudy to get other people that you need in your organization. Not saying, just saying.
And
So
and
go
Miss,
ahead.
since you mentioned that, my background, like I said, I have a lot vast in HR, and I've implemented programs in my previous companies where we had high attrition rate, high turnover rate.
Right.
One of them, for example, we had 50% attrition rate. And
Damn.
within a year, we reduced it by 42%. And that we did that by strategies where we put in pillars in place to identify, and under the pillars that we identified with senior leadership, we've reduced it to 42% under those programs.
That is
So
awesome.
so those are types of strategies that I have and I can bring to any organization where we can collaborate, figure out what's best for the organization, and then come to something that's going to be best for the organization. So have lots of that recruit, retain, and engage employees.
Yep, absolutely, because it is incredible. People don't understand how much it costs to hire an employee. Like even if it's just bare, I mean, you can speak on this more than I can, and
Oh
probably
yeah,
Foster and Dana are like listening to this going, "Oh my God, you have no idea." We
it's
really don't.
it goes in the thousands.
Yeah,
It's very, very expensive in the bottom
tens of
line.
thousands.
And,
Yep.
and that's just the expense to replace someone. The
Mm,
fact about when someone leaves a position, there's other people that have to come in and do that job, right? And
right.
now you get into employee morale concerns and people being burnt out, and so the culture starts diminishing. So you need to find strategies to continue to maintain that employee centric initiatives that people feel wanted and valued as do they go through that hurdle, that hump, to get them to that process. So those are areas where I have expertise in, and I can provide that to any organization.
That is invaluable. Seriously, all the recruiters out there, you need to hire Rudy because if you have one employee that's disgruntled or overworked, and then all of a sudden that overwork from that one employee goes on to the other overworked employees, you don't think for 1 second that there's going to be a waterfall or a cascade or a domino effect, whichever analogy you want to use, that more people are likely to leave your company and leave you high and dry because of the overwork and the burnout, like you mentioned, Rudy. So it's very important that you bring to the table, okay, yes, this is horrible. It sucks, but we can deal with it. I remember I was oil and gas for 10 years. And when I went into my company, they were flat out very honest. Like, this is going to be a tough first 5 years for all of you. And we're all looking at each other like, okay, what does that mean? So they said 14 to 20-hour work days, random schedule changes. But they had these pillars, basically like little, felt like now that I'm looking back at it, it's kind of silly, but like little cookies along the road. Say, come here, get a treat, come in, you're almost there, let's go. But they had these basically goal or mile markers, and it kept a lot of retention because same thing that you experienced, like a lot of turnover, and we still have a lot of turnover because it is really hard work. But with those little tears or those little nuggets of hope, like the light at the end of the tunnel, and a lot of companies don't realize especially new hires or people out of college, need those little nuggets of hope. I mean, you can speak on that, but how do you feel about those types of programs and
Oh,
companies.
absolutely. That's hugely important. You need to create some type of retention programs
Hmm.
that even depending on the organization. But I've had experience where person can come into a certain level, but what's their future look like? And we create career ladders. And career ladders, they can look at their futures that I can come in at this level, but I get a future if I attain certain criteria. I can move up to this level, and with that movement comes also a financial increase as well. So you
Right.
create those types of programs that again increases retention, provides a career advancement within the organization, and at the end of the day, it helps the organization to continue to achieve its purpose and its goal as a business. And also at the same time, it keeps the employee loyal, and we're doing the right thing for the employee to give them a career with the organization.
Of course, you always need that relationship, and I'm going to do the creepy stare, like Foster and Dana always do. So they do. They get really creepy. I'm not going to go that creepy, but that is super important. And I mean, I'm now currently in a company that we are extremely small, and I am not looking to move up the corporate ladder. But some people coming in, you have to be able to talk the language of people coming out of college, right? Because it's a very dark time in our nation's history. Like people coming out of college, and there's no jobs available. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. And then you have the other side where people are getting laid off, but then rehired and then contract positions. It's a really weird playing field. So if companies don't have these incentives spelled out in their organization, it's going to be hard for them to continue to flourish. Rudy, what are your thoughts about that?
No, I totally agree. It makes it more challenging for an organization to continue with their purpose and their goals as a business. And that's where I can come in and align that and work with the business operations team, because it's a collaboration, right? HR
Yes.
can't come and wave the magic wand and get it done. It has to be a collaboration and fostering that collaboration so we can come in unity, so we can create those programs and initiatives that are right for the business and the employees. Because my philosophy, if you don't have employees, you don't have a business. And so it's
Oh, yeah.
critical to make sure that we take care of our employees so we can have a business.
Yeah, I love this quote. I don't know who came up with it, but if you want to kill a relationship, you kill time between that bond. If you want to kill a relationship, if you want to kill a business, deprive it of money, and it will kill that business. So if you don't have a source of income, you will go under as a company. And it's very important to realize a lot of times these quote unquote, I hate the word, but it is a HR training roles. There's kind of an umbrella term, or IT support, internal IT support. A lot of times comes under this umbrella where it's a non-revenue gaining role, and I hate that title. I hate that, because if it wasn't for people like you, if it wasn't for IT support, if it wasn't for training personnel, you wouldn't have a company. And it is invaluable to have people like you with your passion on the table. So walk me through kind of like what you do, or your dream scenario. Let's go pipe dream. When you first get into a company that's really not doing that great, right? They're having a lot of turnover. What do you do? Do you go to the C-suite and go, okay, we need to have a come to Jesus meeting? Like, what does that look like? How do you start getting a company on the right track?
So basically, what I would do is you look at the organization. You need to evaluate. You need to take some time, 30, 60 days at the most, to evaluate, get a sense, get a feel of what's the organization look like. And what I mean the organization, what are people saying? How do they feel? And there's employee surveys that you can do, but you got to be cautious on employee surveys. You can do them, because once you do them, you got to make sure that what you ask is action steps that you need to take on it. So that way it builds credibility with the organization. So that's an option, is to do employee surveys to get that understanding. And once you get some feel of it and get some data, specific data, Then we go to our business partners, our business operations, and we talk. We talk about these are the metrics. This is what we find. This is the feedback. This is what we gather. And then we come up with strategies of different ways. Where are they, what is the goal for them as a business? Where they want to get to? And how does that align with how people are doing their jobs? What are they doing their jobs? Maybe where we need to improve more on our training and development, maybe more education, maybe more, maybe we need to do some changes in our benefits programs, right? To enhance and motivate them. Look at flex times, look at those things. Nowadays, with the new generation that's coming up, with the different ways of their working, we need to also adjust and be agile and pivot accordingly so we can be competitive and we can be an employer of choice where we can bring the newcomers, the new graduates that are graduating, because they're the future leaders of our companies and of our country. So that's just kind of in a nutshell what I would, look at ways to do that.
No, that's awesome because it's a very Lean Six Sigma type of mentality. Like have your boots on the ground first, like our lovely ladies do every single day. Like they get the raw input from clients, customers, because leadership. I mean, we always bash on leadership, right? Like the C-suite, they're evil C-suite. We picture like people with like big fat bellies and like a cigar hanging out Oval Office all the time, and that's not the case, right? Because a lot of times leadership gets frustrated, right? And they don't know, like they're trying to implement programs, they're spending all this money, but nothing seems to be working. So I like your approach, boots on the ground first. Let's start from the bottom, get some feedback, talk to clients, which is scary for a lot of companies, but really that's not a bad thing. Because honestly, as a client, if I was a client and I had somebody from a third party vendor come up to me and be like, hey, what do you like about us? What you don't like about us? And like face to face, because you can ignore emails, you can ignore phone calls all day long. But if you bring me a box of cookies and go, hey, I have 2 questions for you, it's kind of hard to ignore me.
Exactly.
So it's nice to hear that your approach is very organic. It's like, okay, let's see where the roots are at. Let's see, because you can have an average temperature. I love this analogy. You have an average temperature of, let's say 50, but you have 99.9% of the people that are working in the oven, and then that 0.1% in the freaking deep freezer. Yeah, it'll average out. But there seems to be a little bit of an imbalance here. So people, when they see those numbers, like, yeah, everything seems to be balancing out. No. Take a closer look. Make sure, because we're still having turnover. I'm like, might want to look into the numbers a little bit more, because numbers can be manipulated, which
right,
and make look good for a period of time, whether it's a public company, private company. That's very, very influential, if you will. But that's awesome. I'm super, super happy to have you on this show. And ladies, you as well. We have a few more minutes. So, Rudy, is there anything else that you want to kind of wrap up with? Like what message do you want to throw out to the universe, and how can people get in contact with you? Is it better to do an email, phone number, LinkedIn? How can recruiters and companies get in touch with you?
Yeah. Thanks, Meg. So just to wrap it up. So again, Rudy Vasquez, HR director, looking for the next opportunity where I can bring value to collaborate with business leaders to attract, retain, and engage employees, put in employee-centric initiatives. I work for global organizations, so I understand the intricacies of that, supported multi-site organizations, fully bilingual, looking for that great opportunity to create and be part of a good company and great culture. You can reach me. I'm on LinkedIn as well. My last name is Vasquez. It's V-A-Z. It's with a Z, Q-U-E-Z, because I know sometimes they spell it V-A-S. I'm the only Rudy Vasquez. You can reach me also by phone number, email as well. I can mention it here. My phone number is 972 834 5548. My email is Rudy, R-U-D-Y, underscore, and it's Vaz, V as in Victor, A as in Apple, Z as in Zebra, at yahoo.com.
.com. I am typing that in for our lovely hostess Tiff to put in the chat. Not the chat, the
Awesome.
board, the video feed, whatever you want to call it. Technical terms. The who's and what's it with the thingamabobber with the thingamadoodle. Very, very professional. But it has been such a pleasure. The girls are laughing at me so hard. I was like, why are we on this show right now? But anyway, you guys have been absolutely amazing, and we're going to be hearing some music in a second. But everybody else, please connect with these lovely ladies and this wonderful man, Rudy. Have a great weekend. Be safe on Memorial Day. Bye. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
Remember Helen Kerwin? As county commissioner, she raised the tax rate over 95%, increased taxes, utility rates, connection fees, and pushed to give the state even more taxing authority. Well, Helen Kerwin's back, handpicked by the Washington swamp to push a voucher scheme that takes funds away from our local schools and gives taxpayer-funded private school vouchers to illegal immigrants. They'd even go to the front